Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Guys, what happens when two of the Middle East most powerful nations lock horns in a full-blown war? You expect the explosions, fighter jets and retaliation, but what you may not expect is the bankruptcy. Yes, behind the missiles and military bravado, there is a silent battle for money. As Israel and Iran continue their relentless strikes, now entering the seventh straight day, both countries are staring at a question more dangerous than any missile. Can they even afford this long standing war? So, guys, let's break down this complex crisis not just from the battlefield but from the balance sheet perspective. Now, let's see the escalation. It all started with Israel's striking several of Iran's top military commanders and nuclear scientists. That wasn't all. Parts of Iran's fossil fuel infrastructure were also hit. In retaliation, Iran launched missile attacks on the government buildings and populated areas in Israel. As of now, 240 people have died in Israel attacks, while Iran's counterstrikes have killed 24 people. But this isn't just a military face off, it's a financial bloodbath. Every bomb dropped has a dollar value. Every hour of airspace lockdown cost millions. And both nations are bleeding economically. Now, let's see the Israel's financial crisis. Let's talk about the numbers. By the end of 2024, Israel had already spent over 250 billion shekels, that's $67.5 billion just on the Gaza conflict. Now, in the first 2 days of fighting with Iran, another 1.45 billion evaporated. At this pace, Israel could exceed its total 2024 war budget in just 7 weeks. To keep up, Israel's defense budget shot up from $17 billion in 2023 to 28 billion in 2024 and is projected to touch 34 billion in 2025. That's more than the GDP of many small countries. But here is the catch. This spending spree is pushing Israel's fiscal deficit dangerously high. The government had set a deficit ceiling of 4.9% of GDP. With war cost piling up, that's about to be breached. To put it bluntly, Israel is fighting a war it can barely afford. Now, let's explore the hidden cracks in the Israel's economy. Guys, now this isn't just the war happening in a vacuum. Back home, 60,000 Israeli businesses shut down in 2024. Why? Manpower shortages, supply chain disruption, and collapsing consumer sentiment. Tourism, one of the Israel's economic lifelines, has also flatlined. The country is losing billions in potential income from the international visitors. And just this week, S&P Global Ratings warned that Israel's credit rating may be downgraded if this conflict continues. That would mean higher borrowing costs, failing investor confidence, and long-term damage to the Israel's economic image. So, guys, while Israel may be winning tactical battles, it is dangerously close to losing the economic war. Now, let's see and put some light on Iran, a sanctioned economy on the brink. On the other side, Iran's economy was already under immense stress before the war began. Sanctions from the United States and its allies had crippled Iran's oil exports. In 2016, Iran was exporting 2.8 million barrels per day. Today, just around 2 lakh barrels. That's less than 10% of its former capacity. Now, after Israel's recent strikes, oil exports have plummeted again, dropping to just 1,02,000 barrels per day. And exports from Khark Island, which handles over 90% of the Iran's oil, have come to a standstill. But wait, it also gets worse. Let's see the Iran's energy infrastructure under attack. What its impact? Iran's South Pars gas field, the largest in the world, was partially shut down after being hit by Israeli missiles. This field produces 80% of Iran's gas output. Its partial shutdown isn't just a military loss, it's an economic disaster. Refineries, fuel depots, and key logistic facilities are also under attack. With each strike, Iran loses not just the fuel but the future revenue foreign trade, and strategic infrastructure. Now let's see the sanctions, inflation, and domestic chaos segment. Iran's currency, the rial, has lost over 90% of its value since 2018. Inflation is officially at 40%, but many say it's actually of 50%. People can't afford basic goods and prices changes by the week. According to local estimates, nearly 1 in 4 Iranian now lives below the poverty line. Unemployment is its at peak. Infrastructure is falling apart. Water and electricity shortages are becoming more frequent, and the government is spending billions on war. That's surprising. It's a ticking time bomb. So, guys, Iran's war chest isn't deep. Iran's military spending is only 3 to 5% of GDP, about $12 billion annually, compared to that of US, which spends $800 billion a year, or even Israel's $34 billion. Iran does have $33 billion in foreign exchange reserves, but if Tehran uses those up in war, it may have nothing left to fund healthcare, education, or even the basic civil services. In the words of Iran's own president, Masoud Pezeshkian, our current economic crisis is worse than during the Iran-Iraq war. That's saying something. So, guys, who is winning in this war? Both nations are spending billions, sacrificing economic stability and endangering civilian lives. But ask yourself, what's the end game here? A military win, a political statement, or a show of strength? Or are we watching two nations self destruct economically while claiming victory on the battlefield? So, guys, let's see the real cost of the war. Wars aren't just fought with the missiles or strikes, they are fought with money. And both Israel and Iran are inching towards an economic cliff. The real winners are defense contractors, oil market speculators, and perhaps some political leaders buying time at home. But the people, the ordinary citizens of Tel Aviv and Tehran, they are the only ones who are paying the price. So, guys, what do you think? Is this war even sustainable? Or are we watching two nations destroy their futures just to settle the old scores? Let me know in the comments what do you think on this. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel. And so, press the bell notification so you don't miss a future updates on the global politics and world affairs. And I will see you in the next video.